What's up, guys? Simply Coco here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to an apartment renovation here in The Sims 4. So it's been a while since I've done one of these. I said in, well, no, I did. It depends on how I'm releasing the videos, but I am starting a new job tomorrow, or the day after I'm recording this voiceover. So I needed a build that I could do quickly, and nothing quicker to furnish than apartments. So this is one of the apartments that came with Eco Lifestyle. This is number 401 Pinecrest Apartments in Evergreen Harbor, the world that came with Eco Lifestyle. I think I just said that. But this was one of the, I don't know. I think I have furnished this apartment, this particular apartment before, but I really wanted to try using platforms in an apartment because I have yet to do that yet. I don't think I have even furnished an apartment since before platforms were even added to the game. So I really wanted to use them. So as you can see, I've utilized platforms in the kitchen by making it kind of a sunken kitchen, and then I also used a platform in the bathroom, and you will see how I kind of furnish that once we get to it. I think it's the very last thing I furnish. But as you can tell from the title, we are building a home for Bohemian roommates. So the word Bohemian is, I'll just read you. I've been doing this a lot lately, reading just straight definitions from Google, but it says a bohemian is, or it says bohemianism is the practice of an unconventional lifestyle, often in the company of like-minded people and with few permanent ties. It involves musical, artistic, literary, or spiritual pursuits. In this context, bohemians may or may not be wanderers, adventurers, or vagabonds. So the word bohemian is a word that can describe a person. So the two roommates that are living here are bohemians. They are both female. One of them is going to be more on the literary side, and she is going to be an art critic, because you can't really be a book critic in The Sims. So she's just going to be an art critic, but she's really going to love all things literary. And then the other one, she's going to be a adventurer. So she's going to be a archaeologist and do a lot of traveling and stuff along those lines. But I'll get deeper into their storylines whenever I start furnishing their rooms. Right now I am in the living room. One thing that's like common with the Bohemian style is a crap ton of plants. So there is a crap ton of plants in this apartment. I'm using this like shelf that came with Get to Work to just kind of act as like a place for decorations. They also have their TV on there. It's a pretty small TV. But I really like what I did here. It took me way longer than it should have to clutter up this shelf, but as you can see, I'm using the OMSP shelf, so that was pretty difficult. And then there was more slot points on it than I thought, so that made it more complicated. But I got there in the end. As you can see, I did get rid of the big TV just because had I left the big TV there would have not really been a great place to put the computer. So that's when I decided to use that shelf from Get to Work, and then put the computer desk here. So as far as how these girls met and why they live together, they went to college together. Maybe I wouldn't say they were college roommates. Maybe they were just best friends in college. And I know I said I would get into their storylines further on when I start furnishing their rooms, but the archaeologist, she's actually going to be a lesbian, and maybe at one point she had a crush on the other girl, but the other girl isn't straight. I mean, the other girl isn't a lesbian, she's straight. So after she kind of revealed her crush and the other girl was just kind of like, no, well, I think you're really pretty and a nice person, but I'm straight. Maybe like after that, they just kind of kept in touch and became really, really good friends. So now they live together for whatever reasons. Probably because as a like a an archaeologist just kind of starting out, maybe she doesn't make a lot of money, and being a bookkeeper, or not a bookkeeper, being a book critic or like an art critic right out of college, you probably aren't making a whole bunch of money either. So that's why they're living together, just because it would be cheaper. And both of them are kind of really into this boho style of interior with all the plants and light colors and wood tones. So there's a lot of different like bohemian styles that you could do. Like there's the straight up white and light wood tone vibe. There's the extreme really colorful vibe, and then there's the vibe of just like all different types of wood, like wood tones just all mixed together. But I went for a mixture of all of it. So the kind of just light wood tones and white, a little bit of color, and different wood tones kind of popped out throughout the apartment. But now we're into the kitchen. So I used the table from the paranormal pack. It worked perfectly because the main color scheme for this house was whites, light wood tones, greens, and pinks. So the fact that that table had a pink tablecloth was perfect. The chairs went perfect with it. I will clutter the kitchen up very last, as I have been saying in my recent videos that I do that now. I clutter the kitchens last. But this is the archaeologist room. So this is the girl who is a lesbian. I gave her the bigger room because I wanted to fit the archaeology table inside of it. Mainly because I hardly ever use that object, and I figured she would need to kind of, when she was at home, she would need a way to raise her skill. I imagine she doesn't spend a lot of time at home because she's always traveling for work, whatever her like actual job is. I mean, I guess archaeology, like an archaeologist, is an actual job in The Sims. So I imagine she travels a lot and is barely home. But when she is home, I imagine her being kind of a little promiscuous and has a lot of people over, and that kind of makes the other roommate jealous, not in the sense of like she wants to be with her, but just jealous in the sense of like, well, when you're home, you're my best friend, and when you're home, I want to spend time with you, but you always bring all these girls over and I never get any time with you, and then by the time the girls leave, you have to go on your next adventure. But yeah, so they have a good relationship though. Anyway, so I'm trying to find like a lot of knickknacks and different things to place throughout the room, just to kind of give off the vibe of her being a traveler. I was trying to place stuff on this what do you call it? Like windowsill, but it just wasn't working. If this wasn't I can't speak. If this wasn't an apartment and I was like building a house, you could alt place stuff onto those windowsills. I just couldn't get them to go further in. And this is the last bedroom. This is for the, oh, excuse me. It wouldn't be a Simply Coco video without a burp. It always happens. This is the room that belongs to the girl that is going to be really into all things literary. So she's going to be like a book critic or like an art critic or like something along those lines. Maybe she will even write some books and be kind of an author on the side as well. But I wouldn't say that that's her like main thing. Like that's not her main passion. Her main passion is reading other people's books and judging them, basically. I'm using this bookshelf from the kids room stuff pack because I really wanted her to have a bookcase in her room, and I wanted one that looked like it had a crap ton of books on it. So that's why I gave her that. Sadly, this room does not have a window, but it is right next to the front door. So maybe that's how she gets her ventilation through in this room. I could have put a vent or something in here just for realistic purposes, so there would be a way to like vent the air and stuff, but I wasn't thinking that hard. I still really enjoy this room, and not having a window actually allowed me to furnish the room, because if there was a window, unless it was like to the right of this bed, I wouldn't have been able to put that bookshelf or that wardrobe. Um, but yeah, I just really clutter her room with a lot of different books and stuff. That chair over there is for her to sit down and read if she doesn't want to be laying down and reading. Putting books on her bedside table, and then I'm gonna put the clutter like pencils and stuff right here, just because I imagine she would be like, when she is sitting in bed reading, she could just grab a pencil and jot down some notes in a book that she was reviewing. And that picture I just put up is actually a movie poster, but I imagine it could be like the cover from her favorite book that she's ever read or something like that. So that was her room. And this is the bathroom. So on the raised part, I put the tub and the toilet. And on the floor level part, I put the shower and the sink. And I really enjoyed this layout. In a real life apartment, I don't think you would ever find anything like this unless it was like a high end luxury apartment on the 50th floor in a New York high rise or something. But I just really wanted to try something different with a bathroom layout, because I tend to do these same exact bathrooms in every single build. I always use the tiny living. I always use the tiny living toilet. Every time I do have a bath, I use the spa day one. I just always do the same thing. And then very last thing we're doing is cluttering up the kitchen. It's always the last thing I do. But other than that, guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it. And I will see you all then. Bye, guys.